Hello, my name is Nika Zina, and today I will be discussing the ethical issue of requiring students to live on campus. First, there are three stakeholders involved in this ethical issue. One, the students who are required to live on campus. Two, their support system, whether that be parent, guardians, or others. And three, the university itself, including the university's housing and dining auxiliary. I will be using Clemson University as my model for what this might look like on a campus. There are also three issues that I have found with this requirement. One, that we know as student affairs practitioners, and according to Aston's theory of student involvement, that students who live on campus are more likely to be successful in their classroom and their collegiate experience. We also know that at Clemson and other institutions like it, there have been specific intentional curriculum set up to help support student learning within the residence halls, understanding that the things that these students will learn in the residence halls are unable to be replicated in the classroom in the same fashion. The second issue is that we have a number of students, whether or not they disclose, they are food and housing insecure. And this essentially means that these students don't always know where their next meal will come from. They don't always have the money to be able to pay for housing or food, and even though they could take out loans to go into debt, that would give other economic impacts later on. So we have to be mindful of the fact that if we require students to live on campus, we are essentially not giving them an option to find cheaper housing or food sources if that is a necessity for them. And there are a number of students who may not fall into a food or housing insecure status, but will be economically impacted negatively by the requirement to live on campus and pay the tuition. And third, revenue and fiscal ramifications from requiring students to live on campus. At Clemson University, all first-year students are required to live on campus. This is a huge monetary influx for our university housing and dining, and if we were to get rid of this ramification, there would be other issues involved with how much money we would get, where would that money come from, and how would we market and support our students if there wasn't a requirement that students already lived on campus. There are three main solutions that I have come up with to this problem. One, the first solution is no requirement to live on campus. Our second solution is one semester on, and the following semester they are allowed to live off. And the third solution is a price reduction based on a certain variable, whether that be taxes, financial aid numbers, or some other number. Now I would go through all three of the solutions to provide the tests and what those answers would be based on the STAR model. So the first test is the harm test. I believe that all three of these solutions would have harm impacted on either the student, the support system, and or the university itself. For solution one, the no requirement, while this one seems like it might be the better option considering our food and housing insecure students or the ones who can't afford to live on campus, this could actually harm our students who don't have any knowledge about how to get an off-campus housing location, what it means to pay rent. If our institution is in a high cost of living area, it may not be any cheaper to live off campus, and the safeguards that come with living on campus are no longer available for them in that capacity. The second solution of a one semester on, one semester off kind of idea would be harmful because many leases do not go semesterly, they go yearly. So we would need to be in a system of a high sublease population for that to work. Otherwise, we are potentially allowing our students to become homeless or experience homelessness. And third, the price reduction based on number, whatever variable we choose to decide. That can be difficult because we don't always know that information. Much like students who are food and housing insecure, they aren't always going to readily give the information about their taxes or their financial aid status, and that would be information we would need in order to be able to give them a price reduction. So it would depend on self-disclosure and or FERPA allowing us to access that information in order to give our students the best possible price we can. However, that would also these three items would also harm the institution through a fiscal issue. Money revenue would change, meaning we might not be able to put resources toward that student learning curriculum that I spoke about earlier that would allow our students to be able to learn more holistically. Right now, it's about $9,000 to live on the highest meal plan and housing option that we have at Clemson, and the lowest is about $6,000. So it is not a per semester. So it is not a cheap option to live on campus. However, there are a lot of amenities that come with living on campus that must be factored into that price. So we have to understand that whatever price reduction we would use, it would need to be encompassing of those amenities that are on campus, and not just the fun amenities like the water deck and Douthit, but also the security it takes to keep our campus safe, the closeness of everything, and that form. And the second test I want to do is legal. All of these would have a legal ramification to them, most of it because they were signing housing contracts. The precedent, they would all set a precedent for students. If our students would disclose their financial information, if we don't require our students to disclose their financial information, we could be setting a precedent for students who may not need that support but would like it because their peers are getting it. The last test I want to go through is the golden test. Would I want this to happen to me if I was a student in this situation? For the first solution of no living on campus, I'm not a food or housing insecure student necessarily, so I do not have the same experiences that those students might have. So for me, I think I would be stressed out if I wasn't required to live on campus because it would ask me to tap into a knowledge base that I don't have. However, should my experiences have changed and I can be empathetic toward those who have those experiences, I could see this being a really great opportunity for them to be able to not pay as much or pay at a different kind of rate. Solution 2, first semester on, first semester off. I'm not sure I would take that one because of trying to get a sublease would be really difficult. However, if I was mostly food insecure, I think that would make sense. And finally, the price reduction. Yes, if I was willing to disclose. I can't act on any of these things, so I don't know how that would look, but I think I would act on the price reduction if possible. And upon reflecting on all of this, I think this is a very nuanced issue that requires a lot of understanding of our students. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.